Hello everybody, I'm Creekmore. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, please subscribe and click the bell notification icon to be notified each time that I upload a brand new video. Also, don't forget to check out my website at creekmore.com. Today, I thought I'd do something a little bit different than my normal videos. Today I thought I'd do a walk and talk, meaning I'm going to walk and talk, obviously. But anyway, let's get this thing started. The topic of today's video is prepping on a budget. I've been doing this for a long time, and a lot of you have been following my blog and my YouTube channel now for about the last 8 months. And the YouTube channel, my blogs, has been going on for, oh Lord, I'd say I've been blogging and writing and things like that about prepping for close to 15 years altogether. And there was a lot of newsletters way back when I was in my 20s that I was writing for. Get this camera here straight, there we go. I'm just learning this thing here, people. I used to write for a newsletter called the National Survivalist Report. I was like 22 years old, so that's how long I've been into this. It's been a long time. I was actually prepping way back when I was like 15 years old. I started out in studying about wilderness survival and things like that. I would learn about trapping, deadfalls, and finding water, different plants, and everything like that. And that progressed into prepping for disasters like economic collapse, pandemic, and things like that. But anyway, I've been in this for a long time, and one of the things I've heard people complain about the most is they don't have the money to prep. They're broke. They can't afford to put $5 together, $5 a month or $5 a week or something to prep. And I've heard that over and over the years, and I'm still hearing it. As you know, I posted a few videos here recently about showed some gear and things like that I recommend, some books and things. And one of the things I heard after posting that was that it must be nice to be able to afford all those things, to have the money to buy all those preps. Well, let me tell you something. I'm not rich. I don't have a lot of money. My total income last year was less than $30,000, and that's not a lot, especially when you have everything else to take care of and things like that, you know, like the stuff that comes up. You have to have money to pay utilities and things like that. I mean, I could go completely solar, but solar costs us a lot of money to get started. And I have my solar set up, but mainly my solar right now is for backup power and to run tools and things during a grid down situation. I mean, you could go all solar and power this house, but that would cost a lot of money to get that started. It can be done, but I don't have the money to do it right now, and I might sometime in the future. But anyway, back to the subject of this video. I mean, a lot of people complaining, and I think this one to use not having any money to prep as an excuse to do nothing. I mean, really, that's all it boils down to, is an excuse to do nothing. The same people, I mean, there's people if you've been following me for a long time, you'll know that I've been homeless. I've lived in tents, I've lived in cars, I've lived in campers. Of course, I wrote a book about living in a camper. I'll link to that in the description below. You can go find that book on Amazon. It has all the details about what I did when I lived in a camper and everything. But it's an interesting experience, and it's actually a good way to start. I mean, if you can have a camper, you can have a lot of money to buy other land or a better home and expand from there. But I'm rambling on again. The point is, a lot of these people that's complaining about being broke and having no money for preps are they will take, and they could be spending. They could take the money that they spend at McDonald's, most likely, every week, and spend that money on preps. You know, I guarantee these same people, they can find the money for cigarettes, they can find the money for beer, and I'm sure some of them has lots of tattoos. They can find the money to buy all those, but they can't find the money for preps. Prepping don't have to be expensive. Sometimes it sounds like it has to be expensive from watching videos and things like that. We talk about gear. It can get expensive, that's for sure. You know, it can get expensive, but it depends on how you do it and what stage that you're in. If you're just looking for food storage, well, that's the first thing you should start is your food storage plan. And you can do that really cheaply. I mean, you can take and store back dried beans, flour, cornmeal, some canned food, some dried milk, just the basic foods, and learn how to use those foods and cook with those foods and prepare delicious meals with those foods. You'll be more prepared than most people in the United States right now. Most people in their pantry, they have pretty much nothing. Most people live out of Walmart or Kroger or wherever they do their grocery shopping at. I mean, they live one day at a time. They put nothing ahead. They store nothing ahead, but you can do this with basic foods. I mean, dried beans, split peas, oatmeal, sugar, flour, cornmeal, dried milk. You simply take and store and then date all this stuff and use it. By actually using this stuff, they're just storing it up. You actually learn how to use and prepare foods with it that you can actually eat. And a lot of people don't know how to prepare anything using the basic ingredients. Like, most people can't bake cornbread. Most people can't bake biscuits. I mean, you learn these skills and learn how to cook with these basic foods, and by using these, you'll do two things. You will learn how to use the foods, plus, as long as you're using and replacing, you always have fresh supplies on hand. You could take and put back, I've not figured this up for the exact amounts, but you could take and store back the basic foods like cornmeal, flour, oatmeal, sugar, some honey, split peas, dried milk, and things like that, and you could probably store a year's supply for a family of 4 for under $1,000. That's all it'd take. You don't have to do this $1,000 all at once. You can start out slowly and do it slowly. You don't have to do it all at once, and it can be a little bit at a time. Take that money that you'd normally spend buying things like video games or things like that, and take the money that you actually waste on stuff like that, cut your cable off, and take that money and put into your preps. There's always ways to find a way. Take a extra part-time job, pick up aluminum cans to sell, and you can do all kinds of different things to earn more money to prep with. It may sound difficult, and using the "I'm broke" excuse is really a cop-out, and you want to use that as an excuse while actually doing nothing and hope that nothing ever happens. And then you hope that if it actually does happen, and it's going to, folks, it's going to happen, the shit's going to hit the fan, probably after the 2020 presidential election. But I lost my train of thought. I hate when I do that. You can always do something to earn a little extra money to go on preps. Don't make excuses. Don't depend on someone else to do it for you. And don't pretend that everything is fine because of who's in the White House. You can put it off, you can wait, because you can't. You need to do it now, before the time of need. If you wait till the time of need to try to start prepping, you're going to be shit out of luck. You got to do it now, get ready, and do it now. You can't wait. It's another thing. Well, I've heard a lot of people complain. Well, not a lot, but a few. Some people complain about anything. Some people, you give them gold when they complain. But some people I've had some people that's watch my videos complain that they prefer, that they don't have the time to watch my videos. But I guarantee you that most of these same people can spend 4 hours watching a stupid football game. I mean, or go to the movies and spend an hour and a half, 2 hours watching some work of fiction that will actually contribute nothing to their lives at all. They learn nothing, but now when you put a video out that's 10 minutes long, 15 minutes, it's too long. I don't have the time to watch long videos like that. Blah, blah, blah. Excuses, 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 just like prepping. I'm broke, I can't afford nothing. Put back $5 a week, $5 a month. Put back something to use for your preps. Store basic things. Store, like I said, dried beans, oats, dried milk, dried potatoes, canned goods, sugar, flour, cornmeal. Store those back. Store some rechargeable batteries back. Get a solar charger, charge those batteries up. I showed you one yesterday in yesterday's video. I mean, it's a little bit expensive, but you can save for a little bit. Pick up some cans, do some odd jobs, and get the money. Stop making excuses, get off your ass, and do something. Because time is running out, people.